There's probably a packet of salt sitting somewhere in your kitchen right now. You barely notice it. If it disappeared tomorrow, you'd simply buy another one. It costs almost nothing. But thousands of years ago, that same handful of white crystals could be worth more than gold. Kings fought wars to control it. Merchants crossed deadly deserts just to transport it. Entire cities became rich because they had it. And millions of people depended on it simply to stay alive. So how did something that costs almost nothing today become one of the most valuable resources in human history? And more importantly, what changed? To understand that, we need to travel back to a world where refrigerators didn't exist. Imagine you've just hunted the biggest deer you've ever seen. Your family is celebrating. For the first time in weeks, everyone has enough food. It feels like a miracle, but there's a problem. Tomorrow, that meat starts to spoil. A few days later, it smells terrible. Soon flies cover it. Then bacteria take over. And before long, almost everything you worked so hard to catch is useless. This wasn't just frustrating until one day, someone noticed something strange. Whenever fresh meat was covered with salt, it stayed edible much longer. At first, nobody understood why. To them, it almost seemed magical. But today we know exactly what was happening. Tiny bacteria need water to survive. Without water, they can't grow, they can't multiply, and they can't spoil food. Salt has an incredible ability. It pulls water out of whatever touches it. That includes bacteria. So when people packed meat with salt, the bacteria lost the water they needed, and the food lasted far longer than anyone thought possible. It was one of the greatest discoveries humanity had ever made. Fishing villages could preserve enormous catches. Travelers could carry food over long journeys. Armies could march farther than ever before. Entire civilizations suddenly became more secure. One simple mineral had quietly solved one of humanity's biggest problems. But here's the strange part. Salt isn't actually rare. There are billions of tons of it on Earth. The oceans are filled with it. Huge underground deposits exist beneath many countries. So, why did people treat it like treasure? The answer wasn't the salt itself. It was getting it to the people who needed it. Imagine living hundreds of miles away from the sea. Your town has no salt mine, no nearby source, no factory, no supermarket. If you wanted salt, someone had to bring it to you. Every single bag. Across deserts, across forests, across mountains, sometimes over journeys that lasted weeks or even months. Those traders faced robbers, wild animals, deadly weather, and difficult terrain. Every kilometer made salt more expensive, not because the mineral was rare, but because transporting it was incredibly difficult. That single challenge transformed an ordinary crystal into one of the world's most valuable commodities. And that was only the beginning, because once people realized everyone needed salt, it stopped being just food. It became power.